Hey, this is Pastor Randy with Menorah Minute, where today I want to ask another question, and that is, should we be observing the Passover? Where the answer is yes, we should be observing the Passover. We find evidence all throughout the scripture showing that we should be observing the Passover. Now, as I've talked about in the previous video, we should not be observing Easter. Easter was adopted by the pagans, but Passover was not. Passover is something we find rooted within scripture. It was commanded in the Old Testament. And even maybe more importantly, we find examples of this day being observed in the New Testament. So today I want to share with you just one example. Now keep in mind, this was written by Paul. This is in 1 Corinthians 5, and we're going to read verses 7 through 8. And within this passage, years, again, by the way, after Yahshua's resurrection, we find Paul encouraging the assembly to recognize Passover and to observe the feast. So I want to read this to you. It says, "Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump. Even you are unleavened. For even Messiah, our Passover, sacrificed for us." In verse 8, Paul goes on to say this. He says, "Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth." So we find in this important passage, Paul confirming that we should be observing the Passover because, again, the Messiah is our Passover. And also, he says very specifically, we should be observing the feast. Now, the feast here in reference is a feast of unleavened bread. It is when they would remove their leavening, the leavening from their homes, and this was a feast of 7 days. We see no reference to Easter. This is, again, as I've described in a previous video, a day rooted in paganism. But again, what we do find biblically is that we should be observing the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So if you're new to this message, I would really encourage you to look in the Bible to study this out, because listen, if you do, you're going to come to the same conclusion. You're going to realize that A, Easter is wrong, and B, Passover and the feast, along with the other feast days we find within Leviticus 23, are days we should be observing. So I would encourage you to do that, to really look into this, study this out, because you're going to find this is true. And as believers, don't we want to do what we find within the Bible? Don't we want to follow our Father in heaven as he defines within his word? I would hope that we would. I pray that we would. And with that, I would encourage you to like this video, to share this video, to also subscribe to this channel. And I wish you a good day. I thank you for watching, and may Yahweh bless you. Bye-bye.